Hello everybody, my name is Pravus, and welcome back to more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. We're going to try out a fairly new scenario, I think, by Dark the Player called Half-Life Events Scenario, which obviously is going to be following Black Mesa and Half-Life and the Combine and everything else involved here. I have no idea how good it is, but I thought we'd give it a shot. Welcome for my scenario. This scenario includes some events of Half-Life, Half-Life actually is a really nice game, on my opinion. While I do agree that Half-Life is a good game, especially Half-Life Alyx, not gonna lie, I really thought that was gonna revolutionize the VR world, and it still deserves to. But it's been a very, very long time since I played any of these. Wasn't there like a remastered version of Half-Life 1 recently? Man, I gotta play that. It's been way too long. Black Mesa Incident Event, Aftermath of Black Mesa Incident Event, 7-Hour War Event, and the Uprising Event. Okay, we can play with whatever we want. How about a Nurex worm? Because I actually think it might be slightly appropriate for the Combine and everything else here. So, okay, normal difficulty, this will be called PAX 12. Nah. You are a new disease and need infect the world in Half-Life universe. You can do it with Half-Life events and more. Why? Like, why? Why do that, author? Just saying. African nations in Saudi Arabia, because most nations will have deaths. Really? All right. If you know what, for the heck of it, let's go start in Mozambique. Mozambique? Wait, what? Mozambique? That doesn't sound right. Whatever. All right, we're gonna start over there in East Africa. Seems appropriate. And for our transmissions, we have our standard. This is just a normal playthrough, I just realized. Because we're allowed to choose any disease we want, I don't think there's anything actually going to be unique in this. So really, the reason we play this is to see what kind of events and pop-ups we're going to get. All right, I admit that's a little bit less exciting than I might have been hoping for, but you know what? The show must go on. We are spreading throughout Mozambique. So what deaths are going to occur in the rest of the world? Like, are we going to get events where literally, oh, Black Mesa just got nuked. Okay, so this is a thing. Black Mesa is nuked after the incident. G-Man makes the weapon appear and explode, all making the incident worse. Yes, that is a way to say, that is definitely one way to say nuke's bad. Got it? Totally on board with that. Let's go for some water transmission. We got some air transmission. Not that Mozambique, in this case, has any ports or anything, but still. I'm looking outside right now, and it is storming like freaking crazy. I'm getting like lightning every half a second. Well, that's a little bit of exaggeration, but every like 3 seconds. Seriously. I'm shocked you guys can't hear it. Anyway, all right, so let's go for some more of the air transmission. Still spreads, I think, fairly well in an otherwise... Actually, you know what? I just realized this is not really considered to be arid. It's hot, but it's not arid. Yeah, that doesn't do me a lot of good then. How about birds? Let's try to get the heck out of Mozambique into a place that actually has airports a little bit faster. There we go. Getting up into Saudi Arabia. Woo! Yeah, you might end up being able to hear some of that. It's really getting around. Gosh, I did not know we were supposed to get a storm today. Black Mesa incident. Oh God, that's no storm. This is the aftermath of the Combine invasion. All right, the Black Mesa incident happens. The White House has announced that President Clinton and his cabinet are aware of developing the situation at Black Mesa, New Mexico. The evacuations of civilians communicates within the 75-mile rad. I did just realize it's 2001. Yeah, that's a thing. President Clinton wasn't a thing in 2001, right? That was President Bush? God, now I'm really hoping I'm not messing up my time, but I think this might be slightly messed up. Do we go for more air transmission? Yes, we go for that so we can spread faster out of Saudi Arabia. We also go for things like the neural breach and the cerebral tendrils. We're going to be playing this a little bit like kind of a standard Nurex worm at this point, I do think. We're going to need to get some cold resistance so we can spread a little bit further up to the north. We also need to make sure we get some drug resistance, so let's go ahead and pick some of that up. Still mostly in hot countries, so that was actually a little bit too early for the cold resistance, but now we're starting to get there in places like Russia. Don't forget we have access to things like the Trojan planes. It would be kind of cool not to have to rely on the Trojan planes. Maybe we just don't pick that up this time and see if we can get away without it. You know? I mean, Trojan planes are basically like the handicap, the ultimate handicap for Plague Inc. So if we can avoid picking those up in the first place, I'll feel pretty good about myself. I'm going to go for waters level 1, 2, and 3, right? Okay, so that way we can just go ahead and spread real fast on all those boats. What else do we want to go for? Let's get the Axiolytic Infusion and the Psychosis, reducing some severity. Then we'll bring that right back with the Adoration, heading toward that Transcendence Victory. How does that relate? exactly to Half-Life? It doesn't, is the answer. It doesn't relate at all, but that's fine. The 7-hour war starts. The Combine lands on Earth, and UN declare war on Combine, making the 7-hour war and Combine start fight. Unpause, and the war's already over. I mean, it should be. It should be basically like an instant pop-up, like, all right, the next event immediately happens. This is a very slow 7 hours. The slowest 7 hours. The hours that Earth stood still. Or something. Let's go for a couple levels of genetic hardening. I got plenty of DNA at this point. We can just slow things down and get a slightly better score. We are still missing Greenland and the Caribbean. Indonesia is leading the cure effort. I'm not seeing a lot of people dead from this whole, 7 hours war several days later, weeks later. You sure it wasn't the 7 weeks war? Because I think that might have been more appropriate. All right, we're going to get into Greenland, but I'm actually not going to get into the Caribbean, which means I have to go for some Trojan planes. Well, boo! You just did that to me to be mean, didn't you, Scenario? I'm pretty sure you did. What else do we want? I mean, I guess we can go for some mutation chance, but it really doesn't matter because all we care about at this point is transcendence. We get a freaking ton of severity, but that's sort of to be expected. Let's just go ahead and do that. We'll pick it up. We're in the Caribbean now, so that's good. 50% cure progress. I'm shocked how fast they're going. Considering, I mean, most of the world should be mind controlled. There we go, mind controlled at this point. So really, what's the problem? Tell you what. We're going to go for some extra infectivity in target countries. We're also going to go for more frequent Trojan planes. There we go. I don't care about lethality and stuff, but I do want to greatly increase the infectivity. That way we don't accidentally get anyone killed. Is anyone freaking dying? The Combine's killing nobody. The Combine's killing absolutely nobody. It's really disappointing, to be honest. Let's go ahead and send another plane over to Greenland, just kind of trying to give us a slight boosto. There we go. Let's go over some genetic reshuffles. Buy myself some score. Set that back down to 42%. And the 7 hours war doesn't even get to conclude because we've already enslaved all of humanity. And also people became immature. Well, there you go. 389 days. 2 stars. 42% cure progress, 61,182 points. I mean, I had hopes for this because I think a Half-Life scenario actually would work really, really well in Plague Inc. if done well. And I think that the idea of having the 7-hour war start and kind of changing up the game where basically all the developed world gets kind of obliterated could be an interesting mechanic, but as far as I can tell, it wasn't actually scripted correctly and nothing seems to have happened. So really this was just playing a very fast normal difficulty Nurex worm game with a couple of special events that barely had any impact. So from that alone, like, I have to say the scenario is a little bit of a failure because I don't think it actually worked as intended. And even then, I think that the vision for the scenario is too limited. Like, really go for the Half-Life. I know it's a Half-Life event scenario, so it's not lying. It's just, this could be expanded upon as something really cool. Someone needs to make a good Half-Life scenario. That's all I'm going to say. Someone needs to do it. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.